saying bite this or like this. I'm not even 100% positive. Anyway, here we go. Welcome to 88.6 FM WGAT. I am your hostess with the mostest. I am Gregory Joseph from the great state of New Jersey. We have a great guest tonight. Actually, he's a buddy of mine. He is a Jersey guy, but he's out in Arizona right now. He's done a lot of stuff. He's a comedian. He's great. He's worked with so many people, kind of just like all over the place over the years. He's stayed relevant for that long, so you know that he's good. And like I said, he is a Jersey buddy of mine. His name is Joey Gaynor. He worked with Sam Kinison, Richard Pryor, Chris Rock, and the list goes on and on and on. And so without further fondue, we're going to bring him in right now via satellite. So let's see where he's at. All right. What's up there, handsome?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Jersey peeps? I'm wearing this in mourning. Um, because I already know what's going to happen. That's why we let Saquon Barkley go because we can't win. It's a syndrome. Anyway, I don't want to go down that path. How you doing, Greg? How are you? Great.
If I was doing any better, I'd be the same. Thank you for asking.
Oh, no
Uh,
problem.
yeah, I appreciate it. That's 11.50 after taxes, $1.14. But you're almost okay right there. But all right, so you heard your intro there. You
Yeah.
can sit down now if you want. There you
It's better.
go.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for the crotch rot. All right, so
Well, we want to make that's for the whatever.
yeah, that's
I
what that
I
first
don't
40
know what
minutes
I'm
was for.
talking about. It's 106 degrees here.
Oh, is
Uh,
that it? In the shade. So all
it's
right, so
pretty.
here's the thing. So you heard the intro, and all right, so you've been out of Jersey for a while, but you're originally from Newark, which is where my family's from originally. Whatever. If you want to tell our listeners, obviously in the New York, New Jersey area, and those that are going to be watching it later on YouTube and local link,
Sure.
who is Joey Gaynor? Where did you come from? And when are you going back? No, I'm kidding. Where did you come from? Just go for it, man. The
Well,
floor is yours.
I was born in Newark, New Jersey. I was born in St. Michael's Hospital
Mm,
in Newark, and I lived in the Central Ward growing up. Oddly enough, Joe Rogan was also born in St. Michael's Hospital about 3
yeah, I heard.
to me, and I lived there till I was about almost 12 years old. The city of Newark was buying up everybody's house.
Yeah,
And my childhood was very strange because I went to a Catholic school a block away. The convent was right across the street, St. Joseph. And so my mom was cooking for the nuns. She worked there, so I was under the microscope all the time. And as you know, as a Catholic, there are no limitations. But I grew up on Hudson Street, right there between Central and Warren, and Central Avenue and Warren, and by the firehouse, St. Vincent's Academy, and my mom, after my dad passed away in '63, which is another odd story. My father passed away. I was 8 years old. He passed away 2 days before Kennedy was shot.
wow. Hey, Joey, get closer to the mic, man.
Oh, he passed away about 2 days before Kennedy was shot. And with all the conspiracy theories, I still wonder what he knew. What did he know? So, because the last words he said to me was, "I'll be back from Dallas Saturday night." And no, he didn't say that. No, he
He was
passed.
the last gummit on the grassy knoll, is what you're trying to say.
Well, what was so funny is uh, the city of Newark was buying up all these houses. The great Mayor Adenizio and this guy Jordan Barris got together. They were buying up all. They were blockbusters. That's what led to the Newark riots, the '67 civil rights riots, which eventually caught on around the country. But I lived there till then. I went to when the St. Joseph's closed down. I went to Warren Street School. I was the only white kid in the school, and got along fine with everybody. I knew everybody in the neighborhood, so I didn't have any problems there.
All
Uh,
right, so you're a Newark boy, and all right,
yeah,
so I mean, you don't just go right into comedy. I mean, here there's like maybe in Jersey, especially in that time, and I know from
no,
other people telling me that
we,
you only go into certain things when you're in that part. And so, what made you go that way? What gravitated to comedy?
well, I was a fat kid growing up, and I would get picked on a lot, and I get picked on a lot by everybody. And then after my father died, we made a trip to California. That was in 1964, and I was very, very outgoing kid. Some people thought I was a midget,
You
but
thought
it
you were did
very
you say
outgoing.
midget?
Yeah, well, I was a short, chubby kid, but I talked like a 40-year-old. Uh,
Oh,
around,
oh, just
my
like my
father
age.
was sick in bed for like 3 years, so I knew what digitalis was long before I knew it wasn't a Hercules guy. So anyway, when you're around stuff like that, you just get older in your head. It just happens. And so anyway, I'm in California, and my uncle got me to get up and sing at this nightclub restaurant, which is still there. It's a 5-star place, and it's called the Del Rey. Anyway, I got up and sang, and they had me back like every weekend to sing there.
Yeah.
I'm like
The
8 years
same?
old, making
What?
$140 a month, and I'm making $70 a weekend. Uh,
All right.
$35 a night. It's all the money in the world in 1960. I was making more money than some guys were. And and
Yeah.
then we come back to Jersey, and the same shit again. Now I'm just a fat kid in the neighborhood. Picked on. But after a while, I would start laughing when they pick on me, and they didn't understand it. They thought, "This kid's retarded. He's laughing. We're calling him fat, and he's laughing." And they
Mm,
didn't understand. I was going home and writing it all down because I decided at a very young age I was going to be an entertainer. And I didn't
yeah.
give a fuck what any of these clowns in the neighborhood were doing. If their aspiration was to shoot BB guns in somebody's store window, good for you. But I really in my head and my heart knew, after being in California and being working in nightclubs as a little kid, a novelty, but I knew it's really what I wanted to do. So in
Yeah.
school, I got into bands, and I was the lead singer, and then that led to me getting my family. We moved to California after graduation 50 years ago, 1974, and I was there, and I wanted to be in music, and but everybody in California at that time, they wanted you to sing like Robert Plant, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, what about singing, you know, stuff I like? Oh no, man, you got to. So I kind of started to say fuck it to music, and that summer, it was summer '75. I saw Freddie Prinze live at the Universal Amphitheater. I saw Freddie Prinze live there. I
Freddie
saw
Prince, the actual, like the guy from Chico and the Man, like Freddie
Chico and the
Prince.
Man, the actual Freddie Prinze.
Okay.
And I had no idea that like within a year or less, I would be like hanging out with the guy. So I
Wow.
saw him following. That was in August of '75. In 70 in October that year, I went to see Richard Pryor 3 times
Mm,
at the Schubert Theater, which is gone now. That was in Century City in L.A. My uncle was a big time ticket broker,
wow.
huge, and so I got tickets to go to everything. I was working for him at the time, so I was going to everything. Speaking of Fleetwood Mac, I saw them open for Dave Mason with Little Feat as their opening act at the Forum
Little
in
feet.
'75. So
Yeah.
'75 was an amazing year, really. I saw the Stones, Rod Stewart, Alice
Yeah, it
Cooper.
was a
I
great
saw every
time.
band
Yeah.
there was, and then I saw Pryor and Prince, and I found out Pryor was hanging around a comedy store, so I started going to the comedy store every night. Uh, I hadn't even turned 20. I barely turned 20, and I was getting in because I would dress like an undercover cop. So they take my money. Yeah, they would. Johnny
How do you
Witherspoon.
dress like an undercover cop? Isn't it just dress
You wear a
normal?
tennis hat. I had an afro, so I'd wear a tennis hat with the afro sticking out, and I looked real young,
Afro.
but I would have my clothes on like a cop, like an undercover, because an undercover cop is trying to look undercover, but they really look like fucking at that time. Everybody wanted to be Serpico. So anyway, they thought I was a narc or something. The late Johnny Witherspoon, who you might have seen in a lot of movies.
Yeah, I saw some of those pictures. I was like, "What the is that guy doing?" I mean, it was like,
Johnny was the host. Johnny was the MC and everything, and doorman at the time. And about the fifth time I went, uh, the girl was starting to ask for my ID, and he goes, "No, no, he's cool, he's cool." So she sells me the ticket, and as I'm going through into the club, I hear him go, "I think he's a narc." So, so
which 75 was like a term of endearment. I mean, with
yeah,
like,
almost.
yeah,
And so I started hanging around there every night. I wanted to see if Richard Pryor would come in, not thinking he's on tour, dude. He ain't gonna be here. But I got to see Dave Letterman in the beginning, Gallagher,
right,
Leno, Paul Mooney, who wrote for Richard Pryor,
Yeah, I know who it is.
Who was
Yeah.
Dietrich on Barney Miller, but was a brilliant stand-up comic. Uh, uh, I got to see and hang around guys who were been doing it for years. Ed Bluestone, all these great comedians were there, and nobody knew who they were. They would do the Playboy Club or they would do something, and nobody really knew who they were. But yet it was like being around jazz musicians. If you wanted to play jazz guitar or saxophone, you're hanging around all these guys. Nobody knows who they are, but they're fucking amazing. And I got really lucky. And finally, uh, I was sitting in the club one night, and Tim Reed, Venus Flytrap from what you call, I can't
Yeah,
think.
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Right. He
Hmm.
came in, and he was a really funny stand-up. Also, he originally was the team with Tom Dreesen, but then they split up when they came to LA. And he was really funny. And he walks in to me. He walks in, and as he passes me, I go, "Hi, Tim," and he goes, "Hey, are you on tonight?" It was a Saturday night. And I said, "No, no, no. I'm going to go up on a Monday." And he goes, "Hey, man, well, you're really funny, man." And I'm like, I've never been on stage in my life. I barely know this guy. I'm real. Well, maybe I should. So I I was going to go up on potluck night, which is when you went up, and I didn't.
What's explain to the people what that is? That's like open mic, right? Isn't it?
Right. Well, it was open mic is singers and and comedians and poets, and they use open mic now as an excuse to let people go up there and pretend they're stand-ups.
To not be prepared, right? To just get your ass up there and either
Right.
crash and burn or
Right. But
sink or swim.
potluck night at the Comedy Store was important. First of all, it was called potluck. There were no singers. There were that's Mr. Chris Rock. That's at the Improv a few years ago.
That's you on the left or the right?
That's I'm the white guy.
All right, got it.
Anyway,
Who's that guy?
I went up. I went in and I signed up to go on, but that's my mentor, Richard Pryor. Man, he was a great guy.
Yeah, I love
See
Richard.
what was about a month before I went on. I went up to Steve Landesberg, who I idolized, and I said, I was being real cocky because I was hanging around the comics. So I'm thinking, hey, man, yeah, I'm hanging around. I know what I'm doing. So I go up to Steve Landesberg, and I said to him, Steve, I want to go on a Monday here, but is 5 minutes enough time to really get them going? And Landesberg, who was about a foot taller than me, looks down and goes, well, it's a fucking eternity if you're not funny. And
Yeah. Well, how tall are you? Because
my knees shivered, and I said to him, "Can we go next door to the Hyatt and talk?" And he took me next door, and he coached me on if you're going to go on. He said the owner will be watching. If you're going to do 3 minutes, do 3 minutes and get off if it's killing. If you got 5 and you do great, don't try to get off on a big laugh if it ain't happening. There is no. And he really told me. So I waited another month, and then I went on that night, and I didn't talk to anybody really in the line or anything. Guys were doing their act. It's just amazing how it's changed. And I waited, and I was going in my head. I was going, should I be Jerry Allen or Joey Gaynor? Jerry Allen sounds a lot more Jewish. And I'm like, I'm
well,
not.
that's your real last name though, right? Is Gaynor is your last name?
Gaynor. So
Right.
I there, and there's this little lady signing you in, and she goes, "What's your name?" And I go, Joey Gaynor." And she goes, "Oh, that's a good name." So she signs me up, gives me a drink ticket. I have no idea who this lady is. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And I waited and waited to go on, and I'm sitting next to a guy, and his name is Rossi, and not Steve Rossi. What's his name? Leo Rossi. Who
Oh, the actor. Yeah, I know who he is.
I'm
I mean,
sitting here with this guy, and we're talking. Hi, I'm Leo Rossi. I'm from Philly. Hey, I'm Joey. I'm from Newark. Hey, blah, 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 blah. Leo went on. He had a pretty good set, and he was doing jokes. And I went on, and I was so dirty because I was so scared. I dropped about 400 F-bombs. I still have the tape, but I closed it. I did jokes. Like, I got up on stage, and I said, boy, the lights are really bright. Can we turn them down? And Mitzi shut the lights off. That got a big laugh. And that actually calmed me down. And then when the lights came up, I said, "Oh wow, all the black folks are up front. I thought the stage was in the back. Holy shit!" Now there's a real laugh going on because people are laughing, people are yelling, and I got them under control. And I finished with Richard Pryor doing the weather. And I
now
get
where are you? Okay, so where are you at the time? What is the same
Sunset
place?
Comedy Store.
The comedy.
First
Okay,
time I'd ever been on in my life. And
Yeah. Well, let's bring that up real quick. We got that right there.
yeah, I was at there. It is. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, let me move this out of the way so people can see it. There we
yeah,
go.
there it is.
So
And
oh wow, you're right next to Johnny Carson. Look at that.
yeah,
How's
Howie Mandel, Johnny
that?
Card. There's Taylor Negron, Jimmy Brogan,
Steve Martin,
Steve
Mark
Martin. See,
Persky.
you know what? I went on. Mitzi said you got to be a regular. I didn't even know that I was. I thought I was too dirty. And when they said come over, they were going to throw me out. Anyway, but the story of this is better. There was a comedian named John Fox. I don't know if you remember Fox. You remember John Fox? How are you? I was a house painter. I was a house painter for 7 fucking years. I thought I'd never finish that fucking house. I don't know if you remember him, but that was his opening line, and he kills, right?
Yeah.
He calls him up and says, "So, John, I got a lot of work for you the next day." And he's thinking he's going to go to Vegas. He's going to go to La Jolla. Dr. D, David Schultz. And so she calls, she says, "I want you to paint the Comedy Store black." So he's out there painting the walls of the Comedy Store black, and he gets a wild hair. And on the sign that says Sunset Comedy Store with the phone number, he writes, "With your MCs in silver paint, Joey Gaynor, John Fox, Harris Pete, Argus Hamilton." He puts all our names up there.
Yeah.
She's down in La Jolla, and for 4 or 5 days, she's getting phone calls about why are these names up? Why are our names up? Blah, blah, blah. So she pulls up on Thursday, and she looks at the sign. She'd been away. She'd been in San Diego. She sees the sign, and I'm out there. I'm running the door and everything. And she goes, "What the fuck is that?" And I, in true Mitzi fashion, and I went, "Oh, John put our names up there." She goes, "Fuck, no wonder I'm getting all these phone calls. God damn it." And she tears into the parking lot. About 5 minutes later, I get a phone call to go up to her office. And she calls me up to the office and she says, "Sit down. You think that looks good, huh?" I said, "Well, it's not bad. I mean, all right, go on downstairs. Get out of here." So she calls John up the next day and she says, "I got another job for you. I want you to get white paint and a brush and paint 193 names on the wall of everybody that's on the roster." So, John, originally those names were way up at the top of the wall when and I think I sent a picture. I'm not sure, but they were way up at the top of the wall. But John made sure that me and Argus and him and everybody was up there first. So I'm like one of the first 4 or 5 people to get my name on the wall at the store.
Oh, nice. And it's still there to this day, right? It's like your little wall of
Oh,
fame.
it's right there.
Yeah.
They moved them from the top when they built the roof over the patio, and they moved it down right next. That wall is right next to the window that you can look right into the showroom.
Yeah.
Original room.
All right. So that's cool. All right. So you're in LA and you're doing your thing, and it's on a kind of like a regular basis here. So we have a clip too, but I'm gonna just show this. So let's go through some of these pictures real quick because there's several.
Sure.
So we got this one here. All right. So for those that are listening, obviously it would have to be described.
This is New Year's Eve, 1980 to 81, and you could see all the way on the right. That's a young Andrew Clay.
Right.
Andy, that he was Andrew Clay. His name then was Andrew Clay Silverstein. He was Andrew Clay.
Right.
No yet. Andrew Lederer next to him, who was a really funny actor and writer. He's in New York now. The guy with the mustache, that was Freddie Asparagus, my comedy partner. He was also the bartender in Three Amigos. He's Baby Hernandez in Havana. He's in countless movies. That's me. That's a young me next to him with the necktie.
Wow.
That Argus Hamilton, who is still performing. He's a political comedian. I wrote for his show, Argus Hamilton, A Comedy Store Tonight. I was one of the main writers on it. And that's Chris Jackson, who in the movie Vacation, when they accidentally drive into the ghetto, and Chevy Chase says, "We're looking for the freeway." And
he goes,
Chris is the big go, "Fuck your mama." Yeah, that's Chris
yeah,
Jackson.
that's him, huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
what do I like? Christopher Colombo? Yeah, I remember that one. All right, so let's go to that picture. So who we got here?
That's the first time I was doing wrestling as a wrestling announcer, and boy, did I dress the part. And that's
Jesus.
Dr. D. David Schultz, who smacked around John Stossel. Now, my cousin was a wrestler named Adrian Adonis. Keith Frank.
Oh, yeah, sure. He was matched up with Jesse Ventura back in the day.
Right. Yes.
I saw them in the
Right.
early 80s.
Right.
Yeah.
The West connection. And
Mhm.
I'm going to interview him. So I called up Keith 2 nights before, and I told him I'm doing the wrestling show. It's my first show. and Keith and I had been talking about this and working on it. A fellow who got me involved with this is the late Pistol Pete Marquez, who was a really good guy. Anyway, and I said, I got to interview Dr. D. What'll I do? He says, I'll call him. I'll tell him you're serious, that you're a comedian, but you're serious about this. Blah 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 blah. So
What year is this? This picture?
this
What
is 1987. So I
87?
meet Dr. D. This is right after he was exercised from the WWF, and I walk over and I go, "Hi, Mr. Schultz." He goes, "No, it's David. Don't worry." And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah." Keith called me and we talked, and yeah. And so I said, "Well, how do you want to do this?" Which was the smartest thing I could have ever said, and I knew it. He's been doing this forever. This guy's a wrestling star.
You look like Andy
First night.
Kaufman. You look like Andy Kaufman dressed like that.
And I'm like, this is my first night. So I said, how do you want to do this? So he goes, well, you start interviewing me and then I'll just take the mic and go crazy. And I said, yeah, and I'll just run away. That'll work. And that's exactly what happened. We started out and he
All
took
right.
went nuts.
So we'll
And
go
it
to
was
the
great.
next. We'll go to the
Yeah.
next picture here. So what do we got here?
Now that's one of the Samoans. They were eating a pig's head. And every time I had to interview them, I would ask them, how's McHale? How's Captain Binghamton? And they actually didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
Neither do I.
No idea what McHale's Navy was.
Oh, that I know. Okay.
Yeah, and I would say, "Hey, Chief Arulu," and they Tao. That's Tao logo. He'd just look at me like, "What are you talking about?"
One of the Samoans. All right. So what else we got here? So let's check out this picture.
There it is.
All I want for Christmas.
All I want for Christmas. That's Thor Birch and Ethan Randall. I played Shep that ran the diner.
Hmm.
And Thora Birch, people would know from American Beauty. Because this is 1990, and like 12 years later, she's in American Beauty. And I walked on the set.
Oh, that's right.
Now I walked on the set,
Mhm.
and I used the same logic that I learned reading about W.C. Fields. W.C. Fields, for those of you who don't know who he is, Google him, watch his movies. He's a genius. W.C. Fields said, if you're in a scene with kids or a dog, you're not in the scene. You're not even there. Nobody's paying attention. Unless it's a dramatic scene and it's your kid and whatever.
Yeah. My
So when
little
I got on the set,
Yeah.
I had a lot of scenes with these kids. So when I got on the set, I walked up, met the kids, and the first thing I said to them was, all right, guys, you've been here a few days. How do you want to do this? And the kids looked at me and they went, well, you're the grown up. I mean, you could tell us. And I went, no, 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 we're all actors here. So you've been working with the director. You kind of got a feel of what's going on. So, and these kids looked at me like I was sent from heaven. Yeah, I wasn't talking down to them. I talked to them as actors. And
Yeah.
the things went off great. Everything we did went off great. And Lauren Bacall is in that movie, plays the grandmother.
Oh, you met Lauren Bacall too. Look at that.
Briefly. But
Oh, still counts.
the kids came and asked me, how come they did? The kids that were around her, and they came and they said to me, they said, how come you're so cool with us and she's so mean? And I said, well, I don't know. It's got something to do with Frank Sinatra. And I walked away.
Wonderful. All right. So what's the next one we got here? I think we. All right. So what are you doing here?
Unsolved Mysteries. This is a reenactment when I was closing up the Comedy Store and went to close up the main room, and I reached around to shut the lights off. I stepped back out, and the chairs were stacked.
Like
That really happened. That's a reenactment, but the chairs were stacked, like all the chairs were stacked up.
Did they have to pay the chairs, or did they come with it? That's just you that's doing that, right? That was just a little extra.
No, no. This actually happened to me. Everything I did on Unsolved Mysteries, me and Blake Clark, we played ourselves. We reenacted the things that happened. It was there. That's a haunted joint. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Haunted. You can't have that
clean.
much stuff. You can't have that much stuff going on in that room since 1930. I'm talking maybe even the late 20s. Celebrities, mob guys, everything.
And where is that again? Where was that? What,
the main room at the Sunset Comedy Store.
Sunset Comics. All right, yeah. So
Right,
is
the
it
main
still
room.
unsolved, or
Which-
did they solve
Well,
it?
this is the thing. Originally, it was Ciro's, a nightclub, and all gangsters and all the big celebrities at the time. Bogart, Peter Lorre, Martin and Lewis performed there. They did television shows out of Ciro's back in the day, in the 50s.
Yeah.
And Frank Senis, who owned Ciro's, he had during the heyday with all the mobsters coming in and everything. He had a nurse on
50s. Yeah.
call in the basement, a retired nurse. And if a showgirl got knocked up by a mobster or a celebrity, that's what that nurse was down there for. This has all come out over the years. And so things that happen there. And there is tremendous amount of energy there. If I walk into the place, I could really start things. I don't like to. But when I leave the Comedy Store, when I walk out, I say, take care. You can't come home with me. You can't come because anytime I walk in a place they tell me it's haunted. When I'm leaving, I say you can't come with me. Nice meeting you.
Can't come. Yeah. All right. So we got. All right. So we got that one, and we got this one. What's this?
Now this I'll be heading to in August. I'll be at the Heartland Casino in Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Where,
So
where the
if I
is
make it
that?
back,
Where the is that the good Dakota? South
that's the
Dakota.
Southern Dakota. Yeah, I think that's the good one. The North, I don't know which one's good. It should just be Dakota. I don't know why it's North and South. It don't make sense.
Well, tax purposes.
There's more people in the city of Tucson than in both Dakotas combined. So it's kind
I'm
of
not even sure where that is, but all right. So like, what we got here? This list looks a little gay. What is this?
this is
Yeah,
you're
what
looking
is,
at the Five Horsemen from the movie The Five Heartbeats, and from the far right. Oh, I don't. That's not Brian Bradley. This is a different fellow who filled in for him.
hmm,
That's Barry Diamond, and then it's Roger Rose, myself, and Carl Edwards. This is the scene where the Five Heartbeats, for the first time, meet the white singing group who's been taking their songs.
all right.
And we came out, and what Robert Townsend, he's a brilliant director. Robert Townsend had 3 cameras set up, one on us and 2 on the Five Heartbeats, because they'd never seen us. The 5 actors playing the singing group, the Five Heartbeats, they knew that we were in the movie, but they'd never seen us. And when we walked out, their faces, he got the initial response on their face, their reactions, and they're gold. Because
That's
they
a
looked at
Townsend
us like,
right?
what the fuck is this? And it's great. And this is one of the best movies ever made. I'm not kidding. Not just because I'm in it. It really is a great movie.
And this is the five heartbeats. You said right?
Right. It's a great movie. It's done so uh, down to the hairstyles. This was a movie about the 60s, 70s, 80s,
Hmm.
and 90s.
I never actually saw. That's Townsend sitting there though, isn't it? Or no?
Robert Townsend.
It is Robert.
One of them
Townsend.
is Robert Townsend. Yeah, that's Robert
One
Townsend.
of them. I wonder which one that is. All right.
Yeah.
So okay. So we'll go on there, and let's go to another. I like looking at these. By the way, these are cool. All right. So we have. Oh, I got another one. Let's see. What do we got there?
That's
The hell's
Paul
going on
Rodriguez.
here?
This is when I was.
Oh,
I was
that's
doing,
right. That's right. Paul, right? The comedian.
Right.
Holy shit,
I
that's
was doing the show. He had a show, Me Videos Locos, on MTV3, MTV Latino, whatever they called it.
I don't know.
And he's doing the show, and he gets like through a half a season or so, and he's really upset with the writing. So he tells the director, "I want Joey Gaynor to come down here. I want him to play the manager." And they
Hmm.
before back, so they bring me in, and I knew exactly what Paul wanted. He wanted me to play the manager that I used to play with Freddie Asparagus, who you saw before, the fellow with the mustache.
Ready asparagus.
Right, and we would be a wrestler and a manager, and I was the manager, Fabulous Ray, and he was the wrestler, the Mexican landslide, Angel Toro. And I would say, "Tell these people what you're going to be doing Friday," and he would grab the mic and go, "I'm going to do something," and then I'd take the mic away from him. And I'd say, "Tell these people what you know how to do." And he'd grab the mic and go, "I do body and fender. I have a cousin." And I'd grab the mic away from him again. But we would destroy with that piece. I mean, that got us Fridays. That got us on all kinds of stuff. And
Yeah, he was.
Freddie was deceased, but Paul called me up and brought me in, and I started writing for the show and doing the character as his manager. And it was really funny stuff. I wish I had the videos because he was doing his version of Tosh Point oh, basically.
Yeah,
And
you actually know what that is, Toshbone. I'm impressed that you.
yeah,
All right, so what do we got here? We don't want to spend too much on one picture. So what?
no, it's all right. This is the night we crowned Richard Pryor King of Comedy. I'm in the jester suit, and I just cracked That's Paul Mooney standing next to Richard, and Diane Cannon.
Right.
She
Yeah, but
never admits that she was there. She'll say she was never there.
why would she say that she's never there? She's right
She's
next to her.
religious now. I don't know. And
So if
I
you're
ran
religious,
into
you
her at
can't.
the forum at the Laker game. I'm in the club area, and I
Wait
said,
a minute. Wait a minute.
"Oh,
What
Miss
the
Cannon, how are you?"
mean
And
she's
I was never
religious?
there.
Wait,
Huh?
hold on there, Yappy. What does that mean that she's religious? She can't be next to Richard Pryor? What does that
I
mean?
don't know. She was on a few
What
years
the
after this. She was on TBN. I have no idea what you know. Hey,
TPN?
celebrities, when they start to fail, they run to religion. They should have had the religion
Just
first.
because they're yelling Jesus doesn't mean that they have religious, though. I mean,
I
come
mean,
on.
you know, so uh, I'm in a jester's suit because we're crowning him king, and I read the scroll, and then
Yeah.
they're cracking up because we crowned Richard, and we're trying to get him to say something, and he's getting all emotional, and finally I stepped in front of the mic and I went, "Hey, Rich, come on, I got to get this piece of shit back by midnight, or I got to pay another day," and the
like a
whole place,
like a rental tuxedo. Yeah.
yeah, this rental fucking garb
What
here.
year is this? What
This
year is
is 1983. This is exactly
83?
41 years ago this month.
Wow, look at that. All right, so let's go to another, and that's cool because I've always loved Richard Pryor. All right, so here's a good one. Pump it on. Anybody recognize these guys?
We were jamming in the main room. This is 1988 with Sam Kinison.
And that's you right there.
That's me in the red beret. That's him in the other hat.
And the
And
other
then
bro.
after this was over, I gave him the beret because I said I don't wear these. Here, you wear this.
I don't wear these.
The
Yeah.
hat he died in, that Rastafarian knit hat that he had, that he wore all the time. I gave
Yeah.
him that, and he never took it off. He wouldn't take it off. He loved that thing.
Well, you got that right there. Now we spoke about this because we talk from time to time, and I remember that, and I knew that he wasn't always a comedian. Wasn't he like a preacher or some kind of something? Sam,
He
I look like
started
one.
out as a preacher because he comes from a family of preachers, but it wasn't for him. He didn't believe in organized religion.
I don't think there's anything organized about it at all. But I
But
guess he
when
wasn't making. I heard he wasn't making money doing that, which
no, he
that.
wasn't making any
Yeah.
money,
All right.
and I talked to him about that, and I said, "Did you ever have to do last rites or anything?" And he said, "Brother, one of the reasons I couldn't do it anymore is," he said, "you do that, you see the soul leave the body. You see things that just whoa push me out of the room." He said, and I said, "Okay," because since I'm a little kid. By the way, the house I lived in New Jersey in Newark. This is just a quick thing. It was already 125 years old when we moved in. My uncle had bought it and then sold it to my dad after they moved to Hillside, New Jersey.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know where Hillside is. It's over by Union. I know exactly where it is.
right, and this was a carriage house, which meant the carriage driver lived in the house. There was a tunnel in the basement that went down Hartford Street, and you'd come up in the stables. Anyway,
Hmm.
I just found out there was always weird shit in that house. I don't care. It was not a good luck house, in my opinion. And I just found out uh, after all these years that the woman that owned it originally, she was 100 years old when she died in the house. Like she was born there and died there like in 1950 or something. And that's my uncle bought the house in the 40s.
Yeah.
And so I always wondered why there's like spooky shit happens to me in plain English. And
Hmm.
it started when I was a kid. It did start when I was a kid.
Spooky. Okay, so what the does spooky shit mean? Like, what is that?
My mom would be sound asleep, taking a nap. I'm 4 years old. I hear stuff in the kitchen. I go in the kitchen. There's nothing there. Rattling of dishes, glass, whatever.
Really?
Um,
You sure you're
I
not like Ubats or something? Like, you sure that this was going on, or
no. This is there are. See, I've seen too many things to not believe. I've
okay?
seen too many things that right in front of me. I have seen things, and when my mom died on a Sunday, and while she's on a Monday, pardon me, that Sunday before she died, she looked up from the hospice bed we had there in the house, and she started talking in Italian, 100 miles an hour, and she
Yep, that's how they
spoke
do it.
Italian like that in years. Okay, and she says to me, "Your grandmother's here. You don't say hello to your grandmother. There's nobody there." But I said, "Okay, hey, hi, grandma. Good to see you." Blah blah blah. And my mom goes, "Open this purse." There's no purse. There's nothing there. She's struggling with her hands. I take it. I pretend I zip it open and she reaches in and she goes, "Here, Mama. Okay, good. Now you can go. I'll see you." Blah 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 blah. Whatever in Italian. And she says, "Say goodbye to your grandmother. You don't even say goodbye. You don't say hello. What's the matter with you?" And I go, "Okay, Grandma. All right." My mom passes away the next day. All right,
Hmm.
with my aunt Vera, who lived in Nutley Orange, whatever it is.
Yeah, Nutley. There you go.
My
Where I
mom's
went to high
sister.
school.
Yeah, my mom's sister. And I'm at the house and we're talking, and my aunt says to me out of a clear blue sky, I had a weird dream the Thursday night before your mother died. I dreamt of your grandmother walking down Colden Street in Newark, and I said, "Ma, where you going?" She says, "I got to go see Helen to get the money." I said, "She ain't got no money. What are you talking?" She says, "Oh, you don't know. You don't understand. I got to go see Helen and get the money." That's on the Thursday before my mother died. The Monday before my mother died. But on that Sunday, my mother. This was on Thursday. My aunt had that dream. And on that Sunday, 3,000 miles away, my mother is telling me, say hello to your grandmother. See, this shit doesn't happen because it's happenstance, it's make believe. It happens. It's real. I would never have gone on Unsolved Mysteries. They paid well, but I wouldn't have gone on and made a jerk out of myself with that. This is all real stuff. I've been seeing it since I'm a little kid. I was an altar boy. I never got molested. I wasn't cute. But the point is,
Yeah, I mean that's neither was I. I mean, I'm Catholic, and I went to CCD, and I went to Catholic school up to sixth grade, and
yeah,
I
I never, none of us, well, of course, in our neighborhood, if the priest did something, he'd have wound up in a lead frock. So, it's a
what's a frock? What the
yeah,
does
what,
that mean?
hey, father, come over here. You like little kids over there? So,
I'll tell you,
um,
not offensive at all. Not for me. I mean, I was a good looking kid, and quite frankly, I'm a little bit upset that nobody hit on me. But
I've
that's
been
just
doing,
me being me.
I've done that joke in my act. I'm upset. Nobody hit on me. I must have been an ugly fat kid, but.
All right, so we got a clip here of when you're an older fat kid.
Ah,
He's
oh,
as
this was
Irish
St.
as you can
Patrick's
get.
Day.
He's got
I
Molotov
can't handle
cocktails in
both
his
of you at the same
car.
time.
All
So hold
right.
on.
Anybody here see the movie The Irishman? All right, quick impression, Jimmy Hoffa.
Hey, Vinny, let me out of the fucking trunk. Come on, let me out.
Thank you very much. All right. What a great look at. Oh, you look beautiful tonight. How well? She's calling the cops, right? She's calling the cops now because I said you look beautiful. I'm just kidding. Hey, listen. At my age, I don't give a shit. You will never see me out at the beach going, boy, I hope there's metal here. Shit. I bought this fucking thing at 4 a.m. I don't see any metal. That's only old white men. Old white men buy that shit. You never see an old black guy at the beach going, ain't no metal here. Fuck this shit. You don't see any Mexicans at the beach going, if you see a Mexican guy at the beach with a metal detector, bet your ass he's going, hey, who wants to buy a metal detector? I got one left. Pizarro left his wallet in Venice.
Bizarre.
Mexican people are smart. They know there's no gold at the fucking beach. You've been here 500 years. Hi, how you ladies doing? You want to go home with me? You like the 60s? You remember the 60s? You want to know what it's like to live in the 60s? I'm in my 60s. Come on home with me. It'll be great. You left 2 wings there. What's the matter with you? Eat those. You're a growing woman. Is that your boyfriend? He's your brother. Well, you should be dating him. It's L.A. What the fuck is wrong with you? Hi, how you guys doing? You took the... Don't talk to him? I'm not picking him up. He's your boyfriend. What the fuck do I care? I'm straight. I don't want to... Even if I was gay, he's not my type. I want a big guy with hair. I'm just kidding. I don't want a big guy with hair. I want a small man with muscles. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding around. Anyway, my name is Joey Gaynor. For those of you who want to write it down and get me canceled. All right. Here's my first joke tonight. I wrote a PC joke because I'm trying to be more politically correct. Wait a minute. Wait a second here. These 2 non-binaries walk up to a nightclub.
Uh-oh.
The first non-binary says to the door, man, what is the cover charge? And the door, man, says to the non-binary, no cover tonight. It's you might be a ladies' night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How you guys doing over here? She's having a great time. She's having a great time. You got your hands on your crotch. You're hoping to do something when you go home, and you will, without her. There you go. Here.
All right, I can only take so much. I got the real deal right here. I don't even need to watch it. But that's on Joey Gaynor. No, that's just the name of, well, that's from at the Chateau, but
that's the Comedy Chateau on Lancashire Boulevard in Hollywood, at North Hollywood.
That was a year ago?
Club. Huh?
When was this? Like, when was that clip from?
This was St. Patrick's Day. 22.
All right, so a couple years ago, all right, and that's so people, if they want to check your stuff out, they could go to their YouTube page. It's just Joey Gaynor. That's how they'll
Yeah,
find it.
it's Joey Gaynor, and also
Right.
on going up there will be another. I got another show going up there
What do
that
you
I
got?
did at Stir Crazy here in Gilbert, or by it's in Phoenix,
Yeah.
and it's a cleaner show. This was. I got to tell you something. This was this was on St. Patrick's Day, St. Patrick's Night. Now the owner of the place is Irish. I'm Irish, so that was the last night, by the way, that I had any drinks ever. I haven't had any liquor since, and I had a few
So it's 2022.
in 2022. Yeah, so it's
Wow.
been over 2 years, which is fine. I'm diabetic, and I decided to. I'm type 2 diabetic, but I decided alcohol ain't helping me. So
Yeah, no, I know. I haven't. It's been a long time for me. It's been like 2012 for me, and I also was diabetic, but not anymore. But yeah, that's it. It turns to instant sugar in your liver. So that's why people,
and the other thing was that was a night when I had drinks, and I hadn't drank for maybe 2, 3, 4 years before that. So I'm really not,
well, I don't know. Do you need to drink more or less? Because I'm just trying to understand.
I don't like to drink because I don't like the after effects. Also,
Yeah.
it just it doesn't it just doesn't work anymore. But
Yeah, it's not fun anymore.
yeah, that was the St. Patrick's Day night. Like I said, I have another one going up. I probably got a few more things that'll be going up there. Chris Rock, we did Comedy's Dirtiest Dozen together with. I should have sent you something from that. With Bill Hicks, Tim Allen was in that.
Yeah. Well, now, what year is this? When's this picture taken?
This picture was taken about. Oh, this is a while back. This was like 2015, 14, 15.
Oh, so that's before S. So that's BS, right? Like before he got slapped. That's Chris Rock.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's
gotcha.
before.
Got it. All right.
Yeah. And it's funny. I look older in those pictures than I do now. The
Only from very high altitudes, but yeah. All right. So what we got here? So yeah. So once again, Richard Pryor, and I like this photo because I mean he was a genius. Him, Eddie Murphy, people like that. For me, you remember seeing my stuff on YouTube, and you said you watched the video, or actually the clip of me with Steve Stollier, the one with Groucho Marx, who he was my favorite. Well, George Carlin, but definitely Groucho. He was way ahead of his time. The best guy for quips and insults and tongue in cheek. I mean, Groucho Marx to me was just above everybody else by far. That's just the way I feel about it, anyway.
Groucho was
Way ahead of his time.
big influence on me because I started when I was in high school. Actually, about 7th grade. I started watching the Marx Brothers. If they were on in the morning, I got up and watched the Marx Brothers on Channel 9 or whatever it was.
Yeah, on WR. Yeah.
And I began to watch the timing. I wanted to be a singer. I still sing. I still get up with a blues band, play harp, sing.
Out in Arizona, like out.
Yeah, I've gotten up with a few people. I really want to start my own band again. But I had at Universal City, the John Lovitz Comedy Club. I had the Wednesday night blues show.
Does he still have that, John Lovitz? Does he?
No, that's gone. That's all gone. But I had the
Yeah.
Wednesday night blues jam, and that was called Joey Pipes and the Blues Band Time Forgot. And I could. John Lovitz plays piano, and I kept saying to him, "Why don't you get up and play with us one night? Get up and I don't sing the blues. I sing opera." I said, "John, come on." So about 2 or 3 weeks later, he finds out that I was in the Comedy Store Players with Robin Williams. My cousin tells him because she was a booker there. She tells him.
She was a booker or a hooker? What'd you say?
Booker, not a hooker. And and John comes up to me. "You were in the Comedy Store Players with Robin." I said, "Yeah, I was in the Groundling." And we start talking, and we got friendly. And then finally, he got up with the band one night, and he's playing piano.
Yeah.
And we take a break to introduce everybody in the band, and I introduce everybody, and of course, I'm going to introduce him last. And I go, of course, sitting in with us tonight on piano, ladies and gentlemen, from Saturday Night Live and countless movies, Mr. Dan Aykroyd. And the place is fucking dying. And John stands up and waves, cracks his knuckles, gets down and starts playing blues.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I always liked Lovitz. He was funny. All right, so Now, what do you got going on now? Like, so you're doing stuff on the strip? Or, I mean, is it just intermittent? Do you have like certain dates?
What
Or
happened
anything?
with me was I got sick for about 2.5 years with TMJ.
What's
Took
that?
me- That's the how do they say it?
I have
It's
no
a
idea.
jaw thing. Tran something jaw. I can't say the word. I'm trying to
I'm
say
gonna
it.
say easy for you to say, but apparently not. All right. So
No, I can't say it. But a traumatic mandibular jaw is what a TMJ.
good Lord, what a
And
comeback! Nice
what
comeback
happens is
in there.
you can't talk and you have pain from your neck to the top of your head to your face, and it is so bad.
Wow.
Pain was so bad I could not sleep at night because the pressure drops at night. In my ears, my head. It was horrifying. Nobody could figure out what was wrong with me.
Whoa,
The
what was it?
X-rays, they couldn't figure it out because modern medicine doesn't recognize TMJ. I finally, out of desperation, I went to a urgent care, and it was a doctor there from India, and he examined me and he said, "It looks like you have pink eye." And he gave me some medicine. I went home. 2 days later, it was worse. I went back to the same
Pink
guy.
eye. What the?
And he goes, one moment, guy. And he's got a British accent, this Indian doctor. He's got the turban. He looked like Jerry Bednob, my friend Jerry Bednob. And
Bedknob
put a
Joey.
glove on. He
All
puts
right.
a glove on. He goes, open your mouth. He says, don't move. He reaches in. He's pressing my cheeks. And he steps back and he goes, good God, man, this is the worst case of TMJ I've ever seen. He says, you got to go to your chiropractor and your dentist. Doctors don't treat this. So I went to my dentist and my chiropractor, and within
Right.
a month, they got me straightened out.
Does
It
it pop? Like, does it like pop, or I mean, like the
it was so.
whatever.
What happens is it's from stress and all of this. And I was going through rough times. I was really stressing out. I don't do drugs to or drink to kill the stress. But
Yeah.
I really, thank God, I would have really been. But see, what also was happening was I was developing glaucoma, and that is extremely painful. So after the jaw stuff stopped, my eyes were continually hurting, and finally I was seeing a green spot in front of my eye. Went to the emergency room. They test my, oh, you have glaucoma. So, excuse me, I had laser surgery for that, and then the doctor that I went to in Los Angeles, Dr. Twansey, who is in Eagle Rock. This is the best eye doctor I've ever met in my life, and I mean that. This guy is fucking outrageous. He's great. He
Yeah.
put me in, did the surgery, and then he said to me, "You got the beginning of cataracts. I take those out now. Your eyeglasses will be thinner than a dime." And they were always like almost an eighth to quarter of an inch thick. I couldn't see shit. He did the surgery, and I can drive without glasses now. I can read small print. This guy is a genius.
Hmm.
And,
And thank God it wasn't pink eye. It would have been something serious.
huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Good. Tom, good call on that one.
Yeah, no, he's a great. He works with a lot of kids and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
he's a fantastic doctor,
That's
and I
good.
like
So
him.
you got him. So he was able to. You were able to find
What's
out what
that?
that was and everything. That's good. Yeah. Well, all right. So now you've been in Arizona for a while now. I've been out there. I was out there actually at the end of 2022. So I liked it. I have friends that live in Scottsdale. I've been to Phoenix, and we went up to where
Yeah,
we
Scottsdale's
Sedona.
really nice.
Yeah,
Phoenix.
Sedona. We went up to. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I was lucky. It never reached over 87 degrees the entire time I was there. At the end of October 2022.
Oh,
I got lucky. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's
But,
a different time.
yeah.
It's pretty warm here today, but
Well,
I
we got
mean,
like 10 days of rain per year out there or whatever, and 3 of those are in a row, I heard. All right. Well,
actually, we get a monsoon here, and we got quite a bit of rain. Uh, and then last year it got started getting hot in March, so you get used to it. This year it was cold up to like mid-May, and then boom, it started getting hot. So it's weird.
all right. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's it. But you prefer that over because, see, for me, I like, we're in New Jersey here, obviously, but I've always liked the cold. Not like extreme cold where you can't feel your goddamn feet, but I mean, like the chillier, like the autumn. And and that kind of thing. I can't breathe. I lived in South Florida for like 16 years, and it was like you're miserable in August down there. Jesus Christ, it's just like
Houston, the humidity is so thick, and then you got water bugs that big. You got
palmetto bugs, all that.
like that big down here, man.
Yeah, it's awesome down there. I was hoping that there would be another earthquake, but it would just take Florida and just like float away and become part of Cuba or maybe even Nassau. Maybe I could get some of my money back down there. All right, so now that you're doing, as we will wrap it up here, but so tell the people, so there are people that are listening on iHeartRadio, and some are going to watch it later on Amazon Music and Spotify. Where can they, like, when you're doing, you have like a schedule yet or a set thing where
I'm putting a tour together. I'm putting a tour together now. We're hoping to do. I don't want to jinx anything, but we're hoping to do Utah, South Dakota, Minnesota. I've been to Utah a few times, many times, a bunch of times. I've never done Minnesota. I've never been in South Dakota. So that
you go into any states where there's actually people or no?
Yeah, it's funny because that's a casino that does real well there.
Come on, we're Jersey people. You're from Newark like me. Like, well, forget about it. Come on.
You know what?
Over there. What's Dakota is that?
Here's the thing. My next move after that is I do want to come back east, and I would love to work back east again because to me some of the greatest audiences that I ever worked in front of are Jersey, New York. They're just they get it.
You like fresh produce. I mean, that's your kind of guy. I mean, those type of people. Well, it's not always the fresh stuff they throw, but yeah, like maybe Rascals. That's where I used to when I met Andrew Dice Clay. That was at Rascals. That was West Orange, East Orange.
Well, if you remember Tony Camacho, I don't know if he's still booking. A fellow named Tony Camacho used to book that, and he put me in there with my friend Shirley Hemphill and a couple other people. It was a lot of fun. And
who's your agent now? You have your agent doing this stuff? You have an agent, right?
Yeah, I'm with this fine outfit. Where is it? Here you go.
What does that say, Mr. Coffee?
Yeah, it says what is this? What does it say? Oh,
I can't see it.
Golden Artist Entertainment. You can call Golden Artist Entertainment. You can also call Tucson-comedy.com. I've been working with them on a lot of stuff.
Nice. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. I wanted to make mention of this as well. Mm-hmm. You were involved in the HBO series First and 10, were you not?
Yes, the OJ series. I was on that show.
The OJ series.
With OJ, and I always liked the show. It was very funny. And I said to my agent at the time, hey, if something pops on there, let me see. And my agent at the time, Joe, said to me, well, I play golf with OJ all the time.
Right.
He said, so I'll, let me see if I can get. So then this part, Frankie the Rat, came up, and they hired me for 4 episodes. And if they were going to do another season, I would have been on the next season. Why they stopped doing it, I don't know. The producers decided not to do it anymore. But
what do you got there?
I was the most hated prick the show ever had. It was great. It's great. Well, the heel. I love playing the fucking heel. Oh, seriously.
Yeah. Well,
when I'm a wrestling manager, I'm a complete heel. See, so the thing is, when you play the heel, people love to hate you, and would see me walk down the street in my First and 10 jacket, and they'd yell from the car, I saw what you did the other night. It was like wrestling. They thought it was real. I saw you trying to fix the Super Bowl, and I would, but I would. You can probably find this episodes wherever. But I am going to say this: if you see this on the shelf, don't fucking buy it. These people who produced this movie, me so much motherfucking money. You could back up the truck, okay? All right?
Whatever you want, man. Go for it. Yeah.
They absconded. I called the union. The union actually said to me, well, those contracts would be in a box somewhere. Well, do your fucking job and look it up. But me and a lot of actors got screwed on this series. When you buy this, it comes out of Mexico. We have no idea where the money goes. It's a fucking mess. So
when did that run? First and 10.
It ran 7 years, 1984 to 1990.
What's
and then
it? 84 is
they reran my year, 91, and I never got residuals. So I don't know what the fuck was going on there.
Well, what did they just like wanted to stiff you, or what's the story?
Yeah, they stiffed a lot of people. They stiffed everybody.
HBO did? HBO.
Huh?
HBO.
No, the producers, Kushner Locke, the producers of this show, Kushner Locke.
You had a contract. If you have a contract, aren't they legally bound to do that?
You know what? At the time, when I read my contract, HBO got 18 runs, and then after 18 runs, you got a residual for that episode. Well, they would only run it 17 times. Okay, I got it. But then they reran it, and I never got any money.
So you have to have. So if you do 17 shows, 17 appearances in any show, that way you could be in the credit. You can't get any residuals until you hit the 18th one.
Something like that. That's how the contract was back then. It's different now.
That's bullshit. I mean, come on. That's like Larry Hankin disease. Our friend Larry Hankin, he was like one away from being reoccurring. He was going to buy a house, do all these things. I'm going to talk to him in a little while, by the way.
Look,
they nailed them.
That was the contracts on the cable networks back then. Yeah. Look, you talk about shit falling out from under you. I did that show, and then I went in to read for a show called Clubhouse that was on CBS, and that was Christopher Lloyd and Dean Cain. And it was about a mythical baseball team.
Yeah, Dean Cain.
I went in to read for a part of a father whose kids, the kids all took a boat to Fire Island or something, and I read for that, and they said, "You don't look like a dad. We like what you're doing, but you don't look like a dad." I said, "I'm not a dad. That's why." So then they said, "We're going to bring you back in." So they brought me back in to read for the club manager that managed the bar where all the players would go. And I come in and I read for it. And they made me read for it. When they make you read for something 3-4 different ways back in the old day, you knew they were interested. So I read it every way they asked me to do it. I went home. I only lived about 10 minutes from the casting office. By the time I got home, my agent called me and said, she goes, Cynthia says, "Joey, what did you do in there?" I said, "I got the part." She goes, "Yeah, you got it, but it's not just one day. They want to book you for 9 episodes.
I like this, by the way, that we have up there right now. Joey Gaynor, right next to Johnny Carson. I mean, that's pretty goddamn cool. I mean, you got to, of all the people, I mean, he's an icon.
Well, I know. And the crazy thing was, I'm getting booked for 9 episodes at like astronomical money. And that night at 7 o'clock, she calls me and they canceled Clubhouse before she got the deal money. So, yeah. But, hey, that's happened to me a few times. Rutger Hauer movie. I had a huge part. Was a big part. My part would be running while the credits roll. That's how big the part was. It was wraparound for the fucking movie. And they lost the fucking funding. But see, instead of getting mad and being aggravated by this, all it told me, Greg, is a simple thing. You're fucking good enough to be working with these people.
That's right.
That's all. That's what it meant to me. So yeah, I lost a few tight ball games, but you know what? I'm still pitching. I'm still in the fucking.
Yeah, that's what I said when I introduced you. I said, you're still relevant. You're still doing stuff. You're still funny.
I still write relevant material. I'm not doing Reagan jokes. I mean, I guys my age go, "It's a young audience." Good. Watch fucking TMZ. Relevant, motherfucker. Wake up.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
No, listen. Hey, this is WGAT radio. It gets no better than this. You're listening to Greg Joseph, the Mean Machine. It doesn't get better than this. If you think it gets better than this, then you're living in a different planet.
Goddamn right. What he said.
Right. And I broke my denture, so I'm talking tight-lipped.
Oh, well, that's okay. Mum's the word.
88.6 New Jersey. Next caller on. I want to talk about those guys that were robbing the store. No.
Right. Yeah, you can do our tagline. So you got the Mean Machine radio show on New Jersey 88.6 FM WGAT. Rock on, baby.
It's the Mean Machine.
The Mean Machine radio show.
The Mean Machine radio show on 88.6 FM in New Jersey WGAT.
There you go.
Rock on. Rock on. Want me to sing Man in the Box?
Nice. Please don't. No, don't sing anything. As a matter of fact, unless you're in the shower, I think I speak for everybody. Just please.
You've never heard me sing, or you'd say, "Yeah, let me see if you can do Man in the Box."
You talk about like Alice in Chains?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, please don't. And I'm glad you even know who that is. I actually got into a fight with the drummer.
That's a great song.
Yeah. Well, I'm the Man in the Box.
Can you so? See, I'm not afraid of that shit. I get up at a karaoke and do that, and people marvel. Look at that old guy singing that fucking song.
And this is why we're both here during a work day. during the week talking to each other here. But in any
Listen,
event,
you do a great job with this show. I've been watching since
thank
we
you.
met. I've been watching your stuff, and you do a great job with this show.
I
You really
appreciate
do.
that. Well, we're
Really
mutual
do.
fans of each other, and that's nice. It's a Jersey thing, baby. And you
Well,
said I
you
was
know,
your
we're Taylor
favorite.
ham raised.
That's right. See, you call it Taylor ham. People call it pork roll. Get the fuck out of my face with that stuff. It's
No,
gravy, not sauce. It's coffee. CAWFEE. Forget about it. You understand?
it's coffee, not coffee. It is gravy. It's not sauce.
Yeah.
Sauce has no meat. And I don't want to get aggravated with the cooking stuff because I really will. I get really pissed off.
You mean you don't want a hoagie? I'm like, what the hell is that? It's a sub or a hero?
You want a sub. All right.
Forget
All
about
right.
it. All right, when you come here, when you come back to Jersey, we're going to go to Dickie D's. That's the Italian hot dog place in Newark. It's over there by Calandras, you know. And we're going to cruise down Bloomfield Ave with my hand out like the thing and be like, look at this watch, mother. You know what I mean? It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah,
Raymond Boulevard. We'll walk down Raymond Boulevard.
You can't walk down Raymond. Well, it'll be daytime. Yeah, but that's hopefully
Raymond Boulevard. That's where when you were a kid, if you wanted to get beat up, you walk down Raymond Boulevard.
Right. Even if you didn't, you were getting.
Even if you didn't want to get beat up, you
right. They don't think they. It was a very disconcerting kind of thing there, and you'll have to look that up. All right. Well, so people can find you at Joey Gaynor on YouTube. You're going to post your dates and everything. You're going to find.
I'll be posting that also on my Facebook, Joey Gaynor. There's 2 Facebooks that I have. And I got to start paying attention to both of them. One was dedicated just to movies and stuff. The other one's my regular Facebook. Either one. There's Joey Gaynor, the original Mr. Integrity, and then the other Joey Gaynor Facebook.
There'll be no lying in the show.
And Instagram, and I will soon be back up on X because my voice needs to be heard.
That's right. And I'm going to give you a chance to do that. Just as long as you don't fucking sing. I can't stand that shit, man. It's just...
you hate when comics sing?
You're a comic too? I thought you were just a singer.
That too, yeah.
All right. Looks are not everything. Come on, we can bust each other's chops here. We'll go get some.
My big thing in my act, my big thing is Sinatra singing rap songs and stuff like that, which is, you know.
Oh my God, I can't. You're going to ruin a beautiful language. Now, you told me I was your favorite Jersey guy since. Who did you say?
You're my favorite Jersey guy since my friend Joe Bonanno, actually.
Oh my God,
Joe Bonanno and the Godsons of Soul, great band. Go see them.
There we go. Much better. Nice flip flop. All right, so
actually,
that was
here in Tucson. You could go see Joe Bonanno's old compound when he was witness protection. They brag about it. Hey, he had a compound. I'm like, what are you telling me for? Because I'm from Jersey. What are you nuts? I don't want to get involved with you. I don't want to go over there.
That's right. Yeah, you do stuff like your own family time. That's right.
I'm not going there. What are they eating? What are they going to have?
Yeah, well, that's how they know that you're Italian. When you ask what's for dinner when you're having breakfast, that's when you know you're like, what the fuck?
You know you're Italian when it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. You just got up. You're ready to go to work, and you turn to the old lady and you go, "Hey, what are we having tonight?" That's
what I mean. Yeah, it's insane.
Worrying
Joey, I love you, man. You know that. I'm going to see you soon when you come out here. You know they'll allow you to come here. Just don't sing, and but we're going to go have Taylor ham. We're going to have we'll have like Jersey style stuff. Oh,
if we get a chance, maybe we'll go see my buddy John Paris, who's one of the greatest guitar players in the world out there. He's in New York, and he was with Johnny Winter for a while. That's one of the pictures I sent you. Yeah. The guy with no shirt on. It's me, Steve Pearl, Johnny Winter, and Johnny's girlfriend at the time. We were on the bus, and Johnny was one of the greatest guitar players ever lived.
I don't know if I have that picture.
Greatest. I
might not have had that picture on there, but
it should be there somewhere, but I'm not sure. But
well, we had the good ones. We'll show you with Kinison one more time.
Yeah, that was me and Sam.
He was
that's
great.
the only time Sam and I got to really sing together. And
what was it, like blues? He did like rhythms.
He did a lot of thrash type stuff, and then they were standing around going, "What'll we do?" So I started singing "Bring It On Home to Me," and Sam looked over and he nodded and came over and we started harmonizing. And then we played the song. I don't know if you ever heard the song, "If You Ever Change Your Mind." So we did that, and
what'd I say?
There's a recording of it somewhere. The guy that has it would never give me the recording, and he wonders why nobody wants to talk to him. But that's a whole other story completely.
That's right. It certainly is. It sounds like one too. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Joey Gaynor. Joey, I appreciate you. What's that?
I said, I'll accept that. When you said great, I'll accept that.
Well, you know, I use the term loosely, but
You're listening to WGAT Radio. You're listening to The Mean Machine with Gregory Joseph on 88.6 FM right here in New Jersey, the best station you could listen to. And let me tell you something else. This is the best show you could listen to. Rock on, baby! Rock on!
Can't end the show any better than that.
I
Joey,
hope you can use that. And I
I
just want
hope
to
I
say,
hope I can't. Yeah.
I just want to say, Mr. Fazzoliano, thank you so much for this chance. Anyway,
Right. We both got to write him a check. All right.
bye.
Joey Gaynor, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, Joey. Take care. Say a prayer. All right. Well, he's a funny guy. I love that guy. He's one of a kind. He is, not someone that you might think like, oh, he's not like a family kind, like a household that he was, but you know what? He does so many different things, but he just lets it loose. He's not PC whatsoever, which is how he gets on my show. But he just like he's a real person, you know what I mean? And you can't get enough of that nowadays. He's OG. He's the old guard, you know what I mean? And we love him a lot here. We'll have him back again. So you could go into his YouTube page, there, his channel right there. So it's Joey Gaynor, Gaynor, and you can watch that when he was at the Comedy Chateau. That was it was pretty. He's funny. He's a funny guy. Like he just lets it loose. He's like my long lost cousin, and for Italians, that's like Siamese twins. But but he's a good guy. I like him a lot, and I appreciate his time and his efforts. And you could go and check out his dates and everything. Now, when he has viable dates where he's going to be in the Dakotas and all those other kind of places that you never go to, no, I'm just kidding though. But I want to see him on the East Coast again because he would knock him dead. He would knock their socks off here we'll go into the city there and maybe even Rascals like in the old days over there. That's where we met Clay back in the day, Andrew Dice Clay. But in any event, he did a good job, and he is a good guy, and we like real people here. This is the Mean Machine Radio Show, and you're listening on New Jersey 88.6 WGAT. I'm Gregory Joseph. I don't know who that other guy was. It was an imposter, I think. I've never pitched, and I've always had both hands, but I'm telling you right now, I am who I say I am. This is not AI. This is AO. You know what I mean? Anyway, we will see you. Good night from New Jersey. Don't forget, you can drop us a line. You could get me directly. I'm Gregory Joseph at MeanMachineRadio.com. You can, for business inquiries, if you want to be on the show, you want to not sing when you come on the show, or if you want to, I guess that's all right. As long as you don't sing, like he does, that would be info at MeanMachineRadio.com. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube, and of course, Twitter X, which we're going to be doing a lot more stuff on there exclusively. Live 365, that's the app that you would download for either Android or app, if you have a iPhone, and you can take me with you. That's right, ladies. You can take me with you everywhere you go. And the guys too, I guess, whatever, as long as you're a shotgun. But that's us. We have a lot of DJs that are on there. We do 70s, 80s, 90s, a lot of stuff for Generation X. Much love to my Generation X. But you got boomers, stuff on there as well. And of course, stuff for other generations as well. But it's mostly 80s, 70s, that kind of thing. But it's a lot of fun. I handpick a lot of the songs, but we do take requests. Like I request you stop emailing me for requests. That's probably the biggest thing that I have to ask here. But I'm kidding. Check us out Saturday night, 8 p.m. on Twitter, otherwise known as X, or the other way around. And also on 88.6 FM, WGAT, if you're in the New York, New Jersey area. And we're bouncing on satellites everywhere across the country now, thanks to Live 365, the United Kingdom, and where all the cold air comes from, Canada. So we will see you then. If you like what you see there, you're going to see this video, in this interview, I should say, and several others from season 2, which is what we're in the middle of right now, on our YouTube page. It's at Mean Machine Radio. You can check us out there. And until that time, take care, say a prayer, comb your hair, and we will see you there. All right, take care, everybody. Good night. And once again, just like anything else, rock on, baby. Rock on.
Get ready for the ride of a lifetime with your favorite DJ.
You are listening to the Mean Machine Radio Show on New Jersey, 88.6 FM WGAT.
You're listening to the best radio in town. Stay tuned.